Hi, this is Frew with BioBuzz at the QNova LifeSciences Partnering Forum, part of JP Morgan Healthcare Week. And I'm excited to sit down today with Leah Goodman.
Thanks, Chris.
And you're from Biointelect, which is out of Australia,
We
correct?
are indeed. You can hear the accent, hey? The heavy Sydney accent.
I love the accent. So tell us a little bit about Biointellect as a
Sure.
starting point, if you can.
Yeah, no, thank you. So Biointellect is a life science consultancy. We operate from preclinical, work with clients in that really early stage development space, all the way through to commercialization. We define commercialization strategy across regulatory affairs. We have a very, very talented in-house regulatory affairs team. We are a full service white glove CRO as well. And we have a pricing team, health economics and policy. So we work with every player in the life science ecosystem, including GMP manufacturing.
Wow, seems like a diverse
Yes.
platform that you have.
Yes.
Is that by design, I'm assuming?
Look, I think it's our unique selling point. I think clients who work with us in one part of our business benefit from our wide knowledge of what's going on across the full life science ecosystem. Australia's not a big country. And so we are deeply ensconced within every decision, every policy, every challenge, every opportunity. So we can bring that to our clients and have that conversation.
So can you tell me what are some of the goals that you have this week coming here to San Francisco to share some more about what you're doing?
Yeah, no, thank you. Look, Australia is a fantastic place to do clinical trials, and one of our goals is to really shout that from the hilltops. So, Australia, the advantages of doing clinical trials in Australia is one, the quality of the trials is world class, and I think Australia has a good reputation in that regard. The speed, the clinical trial notification scheme, as opposed to having to go through the regulators to get approval, means that with your ethic committee approvals take a very short period of time, around 6 to 8 weeks. And then there is a really attractive R&D tax incentive, particularly for smaller biotechs, or for both, but for smaller biotechs, up to 43.5% tax rebate on every dollar spent on the clinical trial, regardless of whether that's part of your local manufacturing, your consultancy work, your regulatory work, and the clinical trial itself. So it's a very attractive place to do business.
Well, I mean, those are some incredible incentives and value that the whole ecosystem seems to be working together to
Yes.
bring into it. We're hearing a lot at at this conference about things like capital efficiency and focus. Are you getting a lot of positive feedback from investors on and from other startups on really kind of what they can achieve with Australia clinical trials?
That's a really good question, Chris. So, the feedback we're getting from VCs is that they're really supportive of early stage biotech doing their clinical trials in Australia just from that cost efficiency perspective. They get a lot of bang for their buck. In fact, we've got some clients who effectively use the R&D tax incentive to fund their next stage of trial. So it really does generate, well, you're doing it fast, which is part of the criteria. That's one of the reasons the VCs love it, as well as that cost efficiency.
Talk about some of the other things that you're hearing about working through Australia. I mean, we've heard a lot about how, globalization and there's just a lot more interactions
Yep.
across, especially in Asia. So are you getting a lot of interest in kind of the proximity to some of these other markets?
Yeah, again, good question. So, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, our local regulator, is a world regarded regulator and is often able to be leveraged. And we've had one client who got a provisional listing with the TGA and was able to use that in their securing a fast track for the FDA. So there's other ways to use the system. Certainly, a lot of the Asian markets use the TGA as a gold standard,
Mhm.
and it helps with the speed of access into some Asian markets. We have a lot of experience in Asia. I personally have lived in and run businesses for multinationals in Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and Southeast Asia. A lot of our team have a very strong Asian background. So a lot of our clients are Asian clients or are wanting to move into Asia. So we do a lot of market assessment and commercialization planning for that as well.
And I'd love to hear a little bit more now, a little bit more about your CRO. What are some of your goals this year? I mean, we're here in January, so we got a whole year ahead of us.
Yeah.
What are some of the goals that you all have?
So it's a new business for us relatively. We're about 2.5 years into being a CRO. We made a strategic decision because of the strength of the ecosystem and the government investment behind enabling clinical trials. And we made a strategic decision to leverage our strengths as a consultancy into the clinical research area. So our goals really are to be able to enable that really novel technology. One of the advantages that we have is that we have this in house experienced regulatory affairs team who work hand in hand with our CRO team. And so when you've got really different sorts of technology coming in, to be able to bring them into the picture and strategically help define what your regulatory strategy is, what your clinical data need is going to look like in order to enable your registration in any part of the world. We have some very well regarded strategic advisors in the regulatory space as well. The ex head of the TGA works with us. So we bring him in for particularly novel technologies where there's a strategic question on how to approach the ethics committee or the regulators.
Yeah, trust and people. As we hear that all the time, sounds like you're really building a good bench of people that people can
Exactly,
trust.
very highly competent people. So we're not a big organization, we're about 35 strong, but everybody in the organization has a wealth of experience prior to joining us. So our clinical research team each have about 20 years of CRO experience
Wow.
individually.
And as you leave this week here, what is the one thing you want people to remember about you and what you're talking to them about this week?
Yeah. So, well, one thing is the advantage of doing trials in Australia, but particularly the advantages with Australia of working with a company that the people that you get the proposal from are the people you'll be working with. You know, we are a boutique CRO, so it means that we have that white gloves approach and that we really care about the output, thus involve our regulatory team. It's not just about generating data, it's about generating data that is going to meet your end goal. It's the very first question we ask every client: where do you want to end up?
Yeah. And before I let you go, uh, we're here at the QNova Life
Yes.
Sciences Forum. What's the experience been for you so far this year with the QNova team and the event?
So we have a strategic partnership with QNova. We work very closely with them. We have one clinical trial client who wanted to have a partnership with us that encompassed the feet on the ground in the US as well for the FDA engagement. So it was ideal to leverage our strategic partnership with QNova for that client.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for
Yeah, thank
joining
you
me
so much,
today. I
Chris.
really
Really,
appreciate the
yeah,
conversation and really learning more about your CRO and then really the Australian ecosystem, which seems to be provide a lot of value, especially in today's market.
it's exciting times.
It is exciting times. Thank you so much. This is Chris Frew with BioBuzz.